Welcome. My name is John, and I'm just here to discuss movies on the YT. And if you'd like to join that discussion, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell as well. And today, I'd just like to say that I plan on starting two weekly review series. One will take place on Monday, one on Wednesday. And the first one, the Monday one that I'm going to start today, is basically just reviewing Godzilla and King Kong movies up until the release of Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, the last few will be the more modern ones, the Peter Jackson King Kong movie, the MonsterVerse movies. But these first few movies I discuss, I'm going to kind of explore the classic Japanese kaiju cinema movies. They're going to be first-time watches for the most part, and I'm going to select a few of them to talk about each week. And so I figured, which better one to start with than the original Godzilla movie directed by Ishiro Honda. And so let's get started. So after nuclear testing and hydrogen bomb testing, it breaks open this crack or whatever and wherever Godzilla is, and it allows him to rise up and wreak havoc on Tokyo. And so starting with the action, I think it's actually pretty engaging, especially for the 1950s. You just got this nice, shots of this guy in the suit stomping around and everything. And yeah, at times it can feel a little dated, but it doesn't feel dated from like 60s or 70 years ago like it is. It feels more like from 30-ish years ago, with the exception that it's in black and white. But it doesn't feel as dated as most movies from the 50s probably feel. And even though some aspects, not all of them, it still ages really, really well. But those small aspects that do feel dated, they don't take away from the engaging aspect of it, because you still feel really engaged into the action scenes. And now moving on to the acting and the characters, you have one standout for me was Takashi Shimura, who is also in Seven Samurai, which is one of my personal favorite movies. And he does a great performance as this doctor, and he kind of brings one of the moral kind of issues into this, or moral dilemmas into this movie, that being whether, because Godzilla can survive these hydrogen bombs and nuclear testing, is there a way we can study him to find a way maybe for humans to last longer, to survive longer in conditions like that? It brings this nice moral dilemma into it, and whether he has to be alive in order to accomplish those studies. And then another character is kind of the doctor at the end, who creates the oxygen destroyer. He's a great character who brings a nice flavor to the movie. Now on to the visuals. Now, like I said with the action, the movie can feel a little dated at times, and the biggest thing that feels dated is the atomic breath effects. It just looks like someone's spraying like an aerosol can out of his mouth. But outside of that, it still visually looks good. There are some moments where it feels kind of like a toy city rather than an actual city sometimes it feels like it's a scale model of a city rather than actual on location city and stuff. But overall, it still ages really well, and it's still shot pretty well. And now onto the story and the writing. This is the aspect that kind of blew me away the most, because I was just kind of expecting this kind of technological achievement, but it's mainly just a fun monster movie type of thing. But when you get into this story and the moral dilemmas, which I already touched on a little bit, but I'll touch on it more in this segment, that the characters go through, it really blew me away, and I ended up really enjoying this movie. Like I said, with the Takashi Shimura character, you got this moral dilemma on whether we should kind of, sure, some people might die now, but if we study him, we could extend life in the future, and future generations will last longer, and not so many of them will die, so we might save more lives in the long run. And then you also have the dilemma towards the end with the doctor who created the oxygen destroyer, and how he doesn't want to introduce another weapon of mass destruction into the world. He didn't intend to create it, he created it accidentally, and even though it can destroy Godzilla, he doesn't want to, if they do it to use it, it will introduce the world to another WMD, and he doesn't want to use it as a weapon because he doesn't want to be responsible for that. And so when he does end up, spoiler alert, using it, he gets convinced to use it, he destroys all of his work and stuff, and then he sacrifices himself because he knows it's in his head, and he knows he can't outlast interrogation and stuff, and he'll end up, if a government tries, he'll still end up spilling his guts to make another one, and he doesn't want to put that onto the world, so he sacrifices himself when he goes to use the oxygen destroyer on Godzilla. And I just think it tells like this nice, beautiful story. Even his relationship with the girl in the movie, and then even the pacing of the movie. You know, when it starts out, you just see the aftermath. You don't actually see Godzilla, and it kind of creates this mystery around what's causing it. And then they kind of introduce Godzilla at like the perfect moment, and the scenes of him wreaking destruction and wreaking havoc are paced perfectly, and they're put at the perfect moments in the movie to where you never lose sight of them, you never lose interest in them, and they're just paced perfectly throughout the movie to go alongside with the beautiful kind of human story going on as well. And then lastly, I'm going to touch on the sound. There's a great score to it as well, but the other thing is the sound editing and the hearing of the explosions and everything. It's all handled really well, and just even you kind of get this iconic Godzilla roar out of this movie, and I think it's a great roar. It's very iconic. I can see why it's an iconic roar. So overall, there are some elements that feel dated, but it's not that bad. And there's great characters. It tells a beautiful story. Plus, it has some great monster destruction action that we all love, right? And so overall, I don't really have any negatives that I can think of for this. And I know there's another movie on this in this review series that I kind of grew up with and love that I might end up giving this score again to. So I might use this score twice in this review series, which I don't know if I want to do that, but I feel like a lot of people might agree with me with this score with this movie, but I'm going to give it an APAP, an as perfect as possible 5 out of 5. So thanks for watching this video. And if you have seen the 1954 classic Godzilla, go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments down below. And I might be too generous, and if you think I am, feel free to tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and smash that thumbs up icon and smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss my future monster movie reviews on Mondays. And then this Wednesday, I'm gonna actually start another review series up that leads up to another March HBO Max release. And then I will return next time when I see you again.